maybe not just yet. So there's been a lot of hubbub over the last couple days regarding a new video by Laura Frier. It's called The Future of Xbox. Do you not know who Laura Frier is? It's totally understandable, but let me give you a little bit of background into Laura Frier. She worked at Microsoft as one of the original Xbox development team. Her tenure at Microsoft was almost 16 years. Laura had experience working on Internet Gaming Zone in the 90s. This was a hub for multiplayer card and board games, as well as matchmaking services for games like Age of Empires. Internet Gaming Zone launched in 1996, and this was the precursor to Xbox Live, having more than 18 million users. She was part of the team that created XNA, which she has a video on her channel. And she also worked on the Gears of War series with Epic Games, with such people as Cliff Bleszinski, Rod Ferguson, and Tim Sweeney. In 2009, like I said, she moved on to WB Games as the general manager of the Seattle office, in which she oversaw Monolith and Snowblind Studios. In her time at WB, she worked with Peter Jackson in New Zealand on the Shadow of Mordor game while he was filming The Hobbit, and she also went to Australia to work with George Miller, the writer of the Mad Max series, for the Mad Max game. She later left WB Games and went to manage the Seattle office of Epic Games for a time. Did you know that gaming Twitter is essentially the universe of video games, and that's where all opinions are formed and bred? You didn't? Yeah, most people don't. Laura's most recent video set this Twitterverse on fire because she makes this bold statement. She says, Xbox hardware is dead. In this video, she speaks about her time at Xbox. She has made it very clear that she felt there was a significant culture shift around 2008. She mentions a shift from meritocracy to patronage, and a lot of internal strife that a reorganization can bring, and just a huge morale loss. And that was the time that she decided to leave. She felt that the culture had broken at Microsoft and the team that she had worked in. She also mentions that as a founder of the original Xbox team, she is not very happy with where things are today. She feels the value proposition has been slowly eroded away from the projects that she used to work on and the platform that she built. I think if we're all honest with ourselves, we can remember a time where something we'd worked so hard on started to lose its semblance of what we knew it would be. The walls that you paint in your home, they get dirty. Air Jordans get cracks in the leather, or you get grass stains on them that you can't buff out. The relationships that you were in that were all sunshine and roses when they start, they look a little bit more like thunderstorms and weeds. We can all relate to the erosion of something in our mind, or the memories of something that started with so much hope. You later on see how time has evolved those things, and not always in the way that you want them to. It's how we handle the disappointment that counts. I don't know Laura at all, but in no way does she seem angry, upset, or scorned by what happened. She just seems nostalgically disappointed by the changes. Now again, in this video, after she lays out that she is upset where the path has gone and the value deproposition, she says Xbox hardware is dead.
Obviously, as one of the founding members of the Xbox team, I'm not pleased with where things are today. I don't love watching all of the value that I helped create slowly get eroded away. I'm sad because from my perspective, it looks like Xbox has no desire or literally can't ship hardware anymore. So this partnership is about a slow exit from the hardware business completely. Personally, I think Xbox hardware is dead.
I don't think that she means that Xbox hardware is dead as of today. Not everyone follows, nor has to follow every announcement made by a console company or a computer hardware company.
AMD and Microsoft are advancing a bold shared vision for the future of gaming, one that enables seamless gameplay across any screen, placing gamers at the center of the experience anywhere. Moving forward, AMD will go beyond building custom chips for Xbox consoles to designing a full roadmap of gaming-optimized chips combining the power of Ryzen and Radeon for consoles, handhelds, PCs, and the cloud.
And let's be honest, none of us actually know what this means for Xbox hardware in the future. The announcement between AMD and Xbox specifically says that they are creating an open ecosystem for consoles, handhelds, PC, cloud. When you take a step back, I think we can see where the industry is headed. In my interpretation of Laura's video, she's saying what we all know, the traditional model. The consoles are on a ticking clock, and Xbox hardware is on the fastest countdown. If anything, I would argue the AMD partnership announcement reinforces that idea. I genuinely believe the next console will be the last proprietary Xbox console. But that doesn't mean what you think it means. It doesn't mean that there won't be another box under your TV with an Xbox logo on it. It might mean a streaming box, or maybe that box with the Xbox has an LG right next to it. Maybe it's a Steam console in partnership with Xbox. It doesn't really matter what the box says on it. It matters what it can do. Can you access your console library from your Xbox platform? Can you play games without the same quirkiness that sometimes come with PC gaming? We are seeing the end of an era, and I really think that's the point. Every transition, every transformation comes with some sort of pain. Ironically, this wasn't the point of Laura's video. It was more of a statement on the ROG Xbox Ally X. She gives her viewpoint and why she feels like this handheld isn't for everyone. I personally don't agree with her. I think there are several use cases for why people would want this, but I do agree it's a niche market. If you want to know more on why she finds it an unappealing device, please visit her video, which is linked in the description below. Also, please check out more of Laura's videos. I find Laura to be absolutely fantastic. Her takes are spot on the current state of gaming. She has videos on Expedition 33, Baldur's Gate, Avowed, the layoffs in the market, all kinds of industry conversation. I think she's incredible and totally on point. But Laura isn't the only former executive that has been vocal about the gaming industry. I have a great amount of respect for all of these people. They brought us some of the best gaming experiences we've ever played. They're big names in the industry, like David Jaffe, the creator of God of War and Twisted Metal, who said this about what's swirling around the Twitter drain with Laura's video. We have Cliff Bleszinski, Cliffy B, most famously known for his time as the lead designer of the first 3 Gears of War titles. Cliff was a bold designer, and despite a lot of issues during the game production, the Lancer, aka the chainsaw gun, was one element he insisted making it through design, and is probably the most iconic thing from the Gears of War franchise. Mike Ybarra, who worked at Microsoft for 20 years, then went on to become the president of Blizzard Entertainment until early 2024, also has had some pretty hot takes on Twitter. On this hot topic of Xbox's future strategy, Mike Ybarra essentially thought that Xbox was confused and they need to try and find their next identity, and quickly. He thinks they need to settle in on a niche and run with it. Hardware, okay. Software, cool. But be confident and be bold is what I think he's really lamenting on. When he got a response about Xbox being 2 actual things, he responded, "You're drinking the Kool-Aid," and that the vast majority of people don't understand there's more than one facet of Xbox. When we stop and think about what the average consumer of games is, he's not wrong. Most people pick up a console and it's a casual thing for them. They pop in and out with their friends. Maybe they have kids that they're buying this console for. They don't care about the console war. Neither do I. They don't know that Xbox has changed into an ecosystem that happens to include a console. And this is an Xbox marketing. That's what that's really trying to do, is redefine to the modern audience, which is a whole plethora of people, not just the hardcore gamers, but also the moms buying the console, the kids who just want to play with their friends on Roblox or Fortnite, that this is an Xbox. it's not just the console. Yeah, that's one piece and it's over there and you can have it if you want. But look, you could just play Xbox on your TV. That's an Xbox. You can play it on your phone. You can play it on your tablet. It is an Xbox. That's an Xbox. We are Xbox. I am Legion, right? That's what they're trying to do. So while Mike isn't wrong that is the identity crisis that Xbox is in right now, I think that all of this marketing strategy change is really the long-term strategy to change everybody's mind, or the general mass audience's mind, that this is an Xbox is kind of everywhere. It's kind of everything. That's what they're trying to do. So yes, the identity crisis is here right now, but these are the first steps and big steps to really change that, because that's where Xbox is going. The console, it's a piece, but it's not the main piece anymore, at least not for Xbox proper. In 2018, Mike made a tweet cataloging his gaming journey, mentioning how he'd started on a Commodore 64 and eventually made it to PC and Xbox at the time of the tweet in 2018, but still uses Nintendo. He followed up with more commentary to say that he was not really device specific, but more service specific. He mentions how Live allows him to move through the different platforms and wish there was one service, he mentioned Live specifically here, that would work for all platforms and developers. It's almost like he wanted to play his Xbox games everywhere, anywhere? Don't forget to keep in mind that Mike was one of the original developers of Xbox Live and was key and instrumental in creating Xbox Game Pass. So while this was sort of a marketing tweet for them, it sort of ties into where we are now. We want to play our Xbox games anywhere. In May of 2025, Ybarra tweeted the Gears of War's announcement that the reloaded version of the original game was coming to every platform in August, and noted that an iconic franchise was coming to more players, throwing his support behind the idea that a really great game is going to reach more people and you can play it anywhere. In April, Mike Ybarra raised some concerns about 20-year-old remasters. He was commenting on how modern games that exceed our expectations, such as Elden Ring, will outshine games such as Oblivion in the open world RPG space like we have today. He clarifies that he means the discovery, character classes, combat, etc. are all a different level of quality today than they were then. I do understand what Mike is referring to, and I would say he's not entirely off base with his take. A lot of 20-year-old games could never excite and entertain the modern gamer in just a remastered state. I do think Oblivion is an extremely rare case where the remaster competes very well. I never played Oblivion, and I am now, live on Sundays on this channel, and I'm having a very good time playing it. Bethesda games, and maybe just a small handful of others, may be a very rare exception to the point that Mike was making. In a follow-up to his point, he says that nostalgia is limited. He could be wrong, but he thinks that the gaming community wants fresh and new ideas more than ever. I don't think gamers want 15-year-old game mechanics or graphics. I don't think they want outdated skill trees. However, look at how many games we have coming or heavily rumored to be coming that are reboots to old games. Fable, Gears of War E-Day, Perfect Dark, Splinter Cell, Painkiller. We just had a Silent Hill 2 reboot, where there's a Silent Hill 1 reboot, and we're getting a new Silent Hill game this year as well. We're hearing rumors of a Fallout remaster coming soon. I think there's a big return to form on what games really pull on that pedigree of the name, but yet drag it forward into a new era to a crowd of old and new gamers. So fresh and new, yes. But studios are calling on what they know works in a time when we've seen so many new ideas fail. And I don't think that's a bad thing. There's always going to be a space for new ideas, and they will always flourish with the right idea. But given the turmoil we've seen in the industry and the amount of money being lost on failed live service projects, I am all for a soft reset and a return to what makes gaming great. Sometimes we need to be reminded of what worked so we know how to get back on track. So where are we really going with all of this? Xbox is dead, Xbox is evolving, the games industry is cooked, remasters suck. Where we're going with all this is here. Just like you have the right to comment on this video with your thoughts, just like I have the right to tell you my thoughts, these industry veterans have the right to express their opinions and from a place of knowledge. Granted, some of them have more bias than others, but who doesn't? We all have experiences that make up our personalities and the way we handle things. And taking such extreme position on any of these people's opinions, biased or not, it's a bit overboard. If I was wrong, and Laura literally means Xbox hardware is dead as of today and nothing will ever come again, okay, how many loads of laundry do I have to do today? Mike Ybarra thinks that people should be able to play Gears anywhere, but also thinks that the current strategy of Xbox Play Anywhere is too unfocused. That's cool. How much money do I have in my bank account? Because I need to fill my gas tank today. These are just opinions like you and I have. They don't affect our everyday life. It's okay to critique things that you enjoy. It's okay to be disappointed in the direction of something you put your heart and soul in and still root for it. It's okay to have an opinion on something and later change your mind. As a gamer, I want to talk about the games. We should all want to talk about the games. Microsoft isn't going anywhere, and neither is Xbox, in some form or another. I'm going to trust that my games will be there when I need them to, in a format that allows me to access them, and that's all I care about. So let's all give David Jaffe a mini applause and get back to gaming. If you like this video and you want to hear more takes about gaming, games, maybe some industry stuff, hit the bell, hit the like, hit the sub. That'd be great. Do long form content, and I also do streaming randomly throughout the week, at least 2 to 3 days. Oblivion on Sundays, like I mentioned before. I'll add a link to the video here. It's about the Summer Games Fest and my 10 most anticipated and top 10 honorable mentions from that show. Until then, go play some games. Have some fun. Stop worrying about your Xbox. It's fine.